Okay.
We need the city clerk.
Are we good? Good. Ready? Let's go ahead and call the meeting to order, please.
Regular meeting of Washington, Missouri City Council, Monday, January 4th, 2021, 7 p.m. Hydrich,
Here.
Holtmeyer,
Here.
Overmark,
Here.
Packey, Pettit,
Here.
Scornia,
Here.
Solentrep,
Here.
Wessels. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will all the council members answer if they have or have not read the minutes of the council meeting dated December 21st, 2020? Hydrich,
Aye.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Overmark,
Aye.
Pettit,
Aye.
Scornia,
Yes.
Solentrep, Wessels.
Aye.
Having read the minutes, are there any comments or questions?
Make a motion. Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Solentrub, seconded by Hydrich, to approve the minutes from our last meeting dated December 21, 2020. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? By your vote, you approve the minutes. Thank you.
Approval and adjustment of agenda. You have the final pay request, groundwater monitoring struck off landfill.
Right, John? Is that-
Yeah, yeah, this is our annual groundwater monitoring. The contract comes up once a year, so there's always a final pay request to get that done. This operation just monitors the landfill groundwater to make sure we don't have any leaching issues.
Okay, any questions or comments?
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Holtmar, seconded by Pettit, to approve the item on the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? By your vote, you approve the item. Thank you.
Report of department heads, Downtown Washington, Inc. Annual Report.
Tonight, we have an annual report by Downtown Washington. Different way to word that, but anyway, Tyler, we'll have you.
Good evening.
Get a,
Do you have
did you get one? Sorry, Tyler. Is there one up there? You know what, I can click through it.
is this it?
No, that's not it, it's smaller.
Now I can look at you and.
Yeah, I'll click it for you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good evening, council. My name is Tyler King. I'm the executive director of Downtown Washington, Inc., and I'm here to give you our year in review of 2020. Typically, we used to give this report based in September, from September to October, based off the city's fiscal year. But we did last year, we decided we wanted to move it to January to December. So this measures the economic impact of the downtown region. Go ahead, John. One more. Thank you. This past year, and you'll see in your packet, if you guys, you should have a statistics sheet in your packet that you, a lot of these slides that you're going to see is going to be very similar to what you see in that packet. So over the last year, we gained 58 net new employees, and a lot of this is due to the new restaurants that came in the downtown region, 514 Chop House, 1869 Draft Room. We also have Plush Home and Event, and with their Plush Home and Fashion, excuse me, with Event Inspirations in their Nest Cafe. And then we also had the Hive hair salon move into the old auto building downtown. So that brought a lot of the new net employees downtown. Go ahead, Bill. There was over $10.3 million invested residentially and commercially in the downtown district over the past year. Now this number is only up until November. I did get the numbers for December today. These numbers are pulled from permits through the city. That number should be closer to $11 million in private improvements over this past year. And like I said, this included commercial and residential. This number does not include anything with the pool, but it does have numbers pulled from the old shoe factory. So that number actually helped with the shoe factory. Okay. There was close to $90,000 in public improvements made in the downtown district, whether that be with the Lafayette Street parking lot, striping and paving of lots, the front street lighting that you'll see downtown that was updated, and just general maintenance along with storm inlet upgrades that were made in the downtown district. This next statistic, this is my favorite one to report on. This is our volunteer hours that we have every single year. Obviously, we're a very volunteer-based organization, as you guys know, and we had over 5,500 volunteer hours this past year, which, given the circumstances that we had this last year with COVID and all of their events, it's still amazing to see that we were able to get that many volunteer hours. Alone at our cleanup day this year, this was the best one that we've, as far as record keeping goes, the best one we've had ever. We had 65 volunteers show up this past year. And a little roughly over 4 hours apiece, they had about 275 total hours just that day. So kudos to our board members. A lot of them are sitting back here. They're all volunteers. So people like them is why that number is so high. We were able to hold some trainings this past year. Most of them obviously being virtual with webinars, but we did attend some in-person trainings. A lot of them were at the beginning of last year, like our Capitol Day. And you'll see, if you want to go ahead into the next slide, John. We did attend the Capitol Day last year. This is where we meet with state representatives and state senators about the importance of the Main Street program, the downtown revitalization as far as historic purposes go, and the importance of our small businesses in our downtown region and why we feel the state should support that. We also had a lot of, like I said, webinars this year, whether it be how to help support our small businesses downtown or post-COVID, what we should do and how we should navigate that. Also helping new entrepreneurs and new small businesses. So this number obviously is typically a lot higher when we report on this. It's usually in the 70 to 80 days a year, but we were able to have 22 event days this past year. Obviously we had to get creative, with a lot of our events, so we can do it safely, like our WineFest drive-through basket pickup party that we did, along with our Fall in Love with Downtown event, where we sold baskets. We were still able to bring people to our downtown region, but do it safely. And then we also help promote, our small businesses by shopping throughout those evenings as well. On your list here that you'll see in your packet, we have a bunch of slides here. I'll kind of go through them a little faster, but we had 39 businesses that we counseled over the past year, with 6 of them obtaining NAP credits, that's Neighborhood Assistance Program credits, through a grant that we obtained over the last few years. But you'll see here in your packet, these are the businesses that opened up within the past year and or are under construction. If you want to go ahead and go to the next slide too. And some of the buildings that we've also been a part of, along with our prospect list moving into 2021. We do have a pretty good extensive prospect list as far as businesses that are in planning or are just searching for the right location that would fit their business need. The next few slides, and you guys have seen a lot of these pictures before, but I have updated pictures. These are the buildings that took advantage of our Neighborhood Assistance Program. This is the 1% low interest loan that we offer for buildings to update their facades and their roofs and their outside structures. And I have 6 buildings here. The first one here, obviously the Jasper building, the Holtz and Helfrich, as you guys know, the building down here in the corner is a before and after picture. Their Marikai building that used to be Little Sicily on 5th Street. That shows the difference in their building. Missouri Meerschaum, they were able to take advantage and put a new roof on their factory downtown. The Miraz building that is on Front Street that has the new, I think there's 4 new businesses in there, with the newest one being the old Bridgeview Brewery that's set to open up here shortly. And then it's now being called the Swallow's Nest building. That is the old Nieberg and Witt Funeral Home. That houses plush home and fashion event inspirations in the Nest Cafe. And then lastly, the Strieber building there, that's down on Front Street. That used to be, if you guys remember, had Dewey's on the main floor, or the basement floor, that now holds Underground's Coffee. The main floor is set to be Oak and Front Wine Bar. That's set to open up this spring. And then the upstairs has an Airbnb. This last slide here, first I want to thank you guys as a city and as a council for always supporting us and our organization. Without you, the support that we receive, first of all, the support we receive from you guys is tremendous, whether it be collaboration on events or event facilities or anything alike. But I did want to bring up to your attention that there is 7 accredited programs across the state of Missouri, with Washington being one. This is going to be our 31st year of being accredited in the state. And this is the percentages that they receive from their local municipality. And the amount of money that's on the table tonight is $32,000, I believe. That would bring us up to about 8.5% of our total budget for 2021. So that gets us a little closer to the 14%. That's kind of the standard across the state as far as Main Street programs go. So I wanted to keep it short and sweet. That's all I have. And if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you.
Tyler, how's the contracted post office? How's that doing?
It's steady. It stays steady. It is not a profitable business by any means, but we want to maintain it and keep it in our downtown as a convenience because we feel it's a necessary to have for our businesses downtown. Year over year, it's not like I said, it's not a profit-making business, but it's there as a convenience. And like I said, I feel with a lot of our small business owners, they come and do their mailings there. Anything that we can do for them, we try to help them out as much as possible. We sell the gift cards out of there for the local businesses. We have 80 plus businesses on the local gift cards that we sell. So a lot of those items that we do, I think is a tremendous help to our community. Good question.
What's your first event? April?
We're scheduling now, obviously, with our event list. It is very tentative, as you guys know.
Right.
Our first true event is our post office stomp.
Oh, sure.
And it's traditionally held in March, but we're planning to have it in April. And obviously, everything is pending as of right now. So, yep, that's going to be our first event that we're planning for.
Okay. All right. Well, you all do a great job.
Thank
you
you.
guys it's not been an easy year for you, I know. And who would have thought? But anyway, you've all held it together, all you board members that are here tonight and foundation members as well. It's been a struggling time, I know. But there were a lot of people in the downtown shopping during the holidays, and downtown was vibrant. And I heard many wonderful stories. People are getting tired of me talking about that, but I've heard many wonderful stories from visitors who were in Washington shopping or just here for the weekend or something like that about how really awesome our downtown is. So
Always great to hear those stories. Absolutely.
it really is. And so just keep up the good work and hang in there.
Thank you.
It's, hopefully this year will not be the challenge that it was last year.
I think if we
And,
can make it past last year, we can make it through anything.
That's right. We'll be stronger on the other side of
That's
this.
right.
So anyway, but thank you all and all the volunteers. There is the one note here that talks about how all of your volunteers pay their own way to all the conferences, and
Yep.
I know that that's how downtown operates, and so it really speaks to the commitment to your committees as well. So
Thank you.
anyway, so thank you. So
Thank you.
downtown's come a long way. So
I would just like to echo, Sal's not here tonight or whatever, but their efforts to help us with economic development for downtown is
amazing.
thank you. It's truly an asset that helps us go ahead. That's just one more thing that we know we've got a competent group that we can go ahead and send them to if we ever get calls up here at City Hall about what's going on downtown.
We had visitors this weekend from out east, and the young man said, "This place is magical." I'm like, "Yeah, I've said that before. It is." So anyway, but just really, that's pretty cool. So thank you.
Thank you guys very much.
I need a motion to approve the report.
Wait a minute, say that again.
I need a motion to approve the report, please.
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Solentrup, seconded by Obermark to approve the report from downtown Washington. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Your motion, you approve the report. Thank you.
Ordinances and resolutions. An ordinance authorizing and directing the City of Washington to accept the proposal from Aeronet as the internet service provider for the fiber to the premises network project in the City of Washington, Missouri.
Holtmeyer.
Introduced by Councilman Holtmeyer.
As we discussed at the workshop previously, this is just an exploratory phase still of using Aeronet as the ISP to go ahead and see what if areas that the city can go ahead and consider with moving forward with the fiber project. We'll have more information for you at a later date, but the maximum amount is $3,500 on that contract. So we feel it's a small contract, but well worth the money to go ahead and see if we can explore this a little bit further.
Any comments or questions?
An ordinance authorizing and directing the City of Washington to accept the proposal from Aeronet as the internet service provider for the fiber to the premises network project in the City of Washington, Missouri. Scornia?
Yes.
Overmark?
Aye.
Wessels?
Aye.
Pettit? Aye. Stellentrep?
Me? Yes.
Tydrich?
Aye.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
No, it was that other Solentrop. Did we go through them all? I'm not paying attention either, am I? Okay, by your vote, you approve the ordinance. Thank you.
An ordinance repealing ordinance 20-13035 and enacting in lieu thereof an ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a contract by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and Downtown Washington, Inc.
Solentrop.
I think it was Scornia, and I
Steve.
think I heard Greg first. So introduced by Councilman Scornia. This is the,
This is
what
the
Lisa
contract
talked
that
about.
follows up, as Tyler indicated. We had discussed in the workshop about, we had budgeted for $32,000 this year for our contract amount. As a result of that, we had to go ahead and repeal the existing ordinance that is on the books, and so this one would do this on a year-by-year basis. And we can go ahead and take a look at that again in January of '22. But as for this year, their services, again, we have it budgeted for $32,000.
Any questions or comments?
An ordinance repealing ordinance 20-13035 and enacting in lieu thereof an ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a contract by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and Downtown Washington, Inc. Scornia?
Yes.
Overmark?
Aye.
Wessels?
Aye.
Pettit? Aye. Stellentrep?
Yes.
Tydrich?
Aye.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
By your vote, you approve the ordinance. Thank you.
An ordinance repealing ordinance 20-13222 and enacting in lieu thereof an ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a dispatching services agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and the City of Berger, Missouri.
Holtmeyer.
Introduced by Councilman Holtmeyer.
This repeals the ordinance that was passed last month, as Lisa Moffett said in the workshop prior to the meeting. This just changes the effective dates for dispatching services to begin on February 1st, 2021 through January 31st, 2022. All other parts of the contract remain the same.
Any questions or comments?
An ordinance repealing ordinance 20-13222 and enacting in lieu thereof an ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a dispatching services agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and the City of Berger, Missouri. Scornia?
Yes.
Overmark?
Aye.
Wessels?
Aye.
Pettit? Aye. Stellentrep? Tydrich?
Aye.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
By your vote, you approve the ordinance. Thank you.
An ordinance amending the 2021 budget for the period of October 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2021 for the City of Washington, Missouri.
Solentrop.
Introduced by Councilman Solentrop.
This is a reflection of what we had discussed at the workshop. This is to go ahead and move forward with the budget amendments. As we said, prior to the beginning of the October 1 budget year, we wanted to review the first quarter sales tax reports to see if we could go ahead and make an adjustment primarily for the purposes of going ahead and moving forward with a merit increase for the employees. We've done that. We feel very comfortable with that. That's why you have the budget amendment before you. And this will allow the employees for up to a potential of maximum of 2% merit increase. And this is on top of the 1% cost of living that was approved with the budget beginning October 1.
Darren, I should have said this when Mary was here, but I really appreciated the way she presented it. It's easy even for me to read and figure out where the changes were and so forth. So
I will let her know, Mark.
Any questions or comments?
This also reflects, I should say, for that portion that we talked about, the Parks and Fire Department, for that elimination of that maintenance one worker for this year and that trailer with the zero-turn mower. So that's also reflected in this.
We also this year did, with the decision on the amount of the merit increase would be 1% or 2%. Some of the other years we've had formulas where, you know, if your score was this, you got 0.5% and then a 1 and a 1.5 and a 2. And this year we had gone with the option of just 1 or 2%. It's been a trying year for everyone, and the team has really pulled together on this. So
right, just for the rest of the council so they understand, we have performance evaluations department heads provide for all employees, and they're subject to that score. There's a score as a result. It's 0 through 5. Essentially, as the mayor was explaining or whatever, the top. If you get a 4 or up to 5, then you're this time you'd be eligible for 2%. If you're between 3 and 3.99, it's 1%. Anything below 3 is not subject to a merit increase due to performance. I'd be grateful to tell you that I think we had all but one that would get some type of increase, whether it be 1 or 2%, with the majority of the employees getting 2%.
Yeah. Okay.
All I have.
All right.
An ordinance amending
you.
the 2021 budget for the period of October 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2021 for the city of Washington, Missouri. Scornia?
Yes.
Obermark?
Aye.
Wessels?
aye.
Pettit? Aye. Solentrip?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
By your vote, you approve the ordinance. Thank you.
An ordinance accepting the bid from Clark Equipment Company doing business as Bobcat Company and to approve the purchase of a Bobcat track loader with attachments by the city of Washington, Missouri.
Introduced by Councilman Holtmeyer.
This is the track loader I was telling you about earlier in the department head discussion, the replacement of a T770 with a new T770 from Bobcat.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Okay. All right, we should be good.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
An ordinance accepting the bid from Clark Equipment Company doing business as Bobcat Company and to approve the purchase of a Bobcat track loader and attachments by the city of Washington, Missouri. Scornia?
Yes.
Obermark?
Aye.
Wessels?
Aye.
Pettit? Aye. Solentrip? Heidrich?
Aye.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
By your vote, you approve the ordinance. Thank you.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the city of Washington, Missouri to enter into an agreement between VIP Public Safety and the city of Washington, Missouri for the purchase, outfitting, and upgrading of equipment for 3 2020 Ford PPV utility patrol vehicles.
Heidrich.
Introduced by Councilman Heidrich. This is the equipment to update, to outfit the
Yes,
interceptors.
yes. Good evening, esteemed council.
He
So-
picks up fast.
I do.
go,
Didn't
I'm a
take
quick
him long,
learner.
did it?
Yes, this is the agreement for the equipment and outfitting of the 3 new 2020 patrol vehicles through VIP Public Safety. So that's the actual equipment for the light bars and such.
Okay, any questions or comments? Okay.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the City of Washington, Missouri to enter into an agreement between VIP Public Safety and the City of Washington, Missouri for the purchase, outfitting, and upgrading of equipment for 3 2020 Ford PPV utility patrol vehicles. Scornia?
Yes.
Obermark?
Aye.
Wessels?
Aye.
Pettit? Aye. Solentrip? Heidrich?
Aye.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
By your vote, you approve the ordinance. Thank you.
An ordinance,
Cars first.
Well, I don't know. I guess they, yeah. It's the next item.
It's a little backwards.
I was thinking about that while.
I was
now-
too.
Go ahead.
an ordinance authorizing and directing the City of Washington, Missouri to enter into an agreement between Lou Fuse Ford, Inc. and the City of Washington, Missouri for the purchase of 3 2020 Ford Police Interceptors.
Heidrich.
Introduced by Councilman Heidrich. So now we've,
This is for the
we
vehicle.
bought the vehicles.
Now we got to.
Let's go.
You don't want to just have that equipment.
That's
We
right.
just don't want to let this commitment sit around, so we're going to buy the vehicles now. So anyway,
It was time this week. You're learning. You're
That's
learning.
right.
That was pretty clever, actually. Now you have to buy the vehicle.
yeah, we don't have a choice now. So anyway,
Hope this passes.
We got all the stuff.
okay. Any comments other than the fact that we now have vehicles? So
I think we need these vehicles.
okay, go ahead.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the City of Washington, Missouri to enter into an agreement between Lou Fuse Ford, Inc. and the City of Washington, Missouri for the purchase of 3 2020 Ford Police Interceptors. Scornia?
Yes.
Obermark?
Aye.
Wessels?
Aye.
Pettit? Aye. Solentrip? Heidrich?
Aye.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
By your vote, you've purchased the vehicles. So anyway, thank you.
That was close.
An ordinance establishing the salary for the city administrator for the City of Washington, Missouri.
Solentrip.
Introduced by Councilman Solentrep. In the past, we've had to have council approval for several salaries, and over the past few years, there were 5 at one time that we had to have council approval of. And over the past few years, if you remember, we eliminated those, and the only one now that goes for council approval is the city administrator salary. So following up on what Darren was saying this year, with how we had divided the merit increase at 1% or 2%. Our committee of Shauna, Steve, and me, we reviewed Darren's goals from last year, and we will be meeting with him again to establish his goals for this year. But we did review his goals from last year, and he did an outstanding job. One of his goals was to provide a survey for feedback on our staff, and that never happened because we got busy with other things, and that one never
COVID took control.
kind of took control of that. But the update on the personnel policy manual, this was something that we had wanted to do, and between Darren and Shauna, they have worked very hard on it, and we have been meeting weekly for the last 3 months, I guess, reviewing
Shauna and I
section
have
after section. Been working on it for quite a long time. But we will, after the first of the year, well, it is after that, it is that time now, but we will be bringing forth a new personnel policy that has some much-needed updates in it. Oversee a successful transition of the solid waste program. I think that that was a big goal last year, and we are now operating with our new haulers, and seems to be going very well. One of them was secure leases for the boat dock permit holders. We haven't really completed that, but certainly that's ongoing. COVID probably got in the way of that one as well. Oversee successful completion of various parks projects funded through the capital improvement sales tax, the biggest one being the swimming pool. We've got that well on its way, ahead of schedule, I believe, right? So far, so good. And the last one was the update of the water rates, which was something that we have talked about for years. We've been wanting to update those water rates, and finally got that completed. So with all of that, we have decided that Darren also would receive the 2% as the for his job that he did this past year. And so that is what is reflected in the ordinance that you have before you. So it's been a great year. Darren has been a terrific leader through this COVID, and he's done an outstanding job of keeping us all together. So it's been a good year. So that is what is reflected. So, any questions or comments? Okay.
An ordinance establishing the salary for the city administrator for the city of Washington, Missouri. Scornia?
Yes.
Obermark?
Aye.
Wessels?
For our esteemed administrator and I.
Pettit? Aye. Solentrip?
Yes.
Hydrich?
Aye.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
By your vote, you approve the ordinance. Thank you.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of the contract with Jokers Paving and Contracting, Inc. for the 2021 High Street Improvement Project, STP-6403-606.
Holtmeyer.
Introduced by Councilman Holtmeyer.
Okay, good evening, council. Again, just to recap, this project is 80/20 federally funded STP project, overlay of High Street from 100 to 5th Street with a sidewalk component on the west side of High Street from 100 to 9th Street. We did go out to bid. City did put plans together internally. We did go out to bid. We received a lot of interest. Attribute that to potentially just at the time that we bid the project. But anyway, we received 10 bidders, with 4 of the bidders being essentially very tight. Jokers Paving and Contracting out of Jefferson County is the apparent low bidder. I did check again with a few of contacts that I had in the industry because I have not personally worked with them in the past. There were some concerns regarding the schedule. It is a pretty tight schedule. It's a fairly straightforward project, sidewalk, mill and fill paving, so it's not a difficult project to take care of. But those contacts did have positive things to say about the operation. Again, I've not personally worked with them, but the project does have liquidated damages attached to it if they cannot, get the project done within the project timeline. Also, in that discussion, we talked about just various ways, of how you choose a contractor and those type of things. There are very specific items in order to choose a contractor. They were a responsible bidder, and I see no reason not to move forward with the contract.
John, your contacts, were they other municipalities?
Yes. One, I reached out. I did some research because I think they have done some paving work in Union. I did reach out to City Administrator Zimmerman. I did not get a response back, but I did just do some quick paper review of what what the how they performed in some other projects. I didn't see anything that would have been alarming per se. The specific contact that I did talk with is the Public Works Director for the City of Arnold, who was a previous area engineer for, it was Judy Wagner actually that's worked with him in the past, and she didn't have any issues with any of the projects that she's been on with them. So.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, thank you.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a contract with Jokers Paving and Contracting, Inc. for the 2021 High Street Improvement Project, STP-6403-606. Scornia?
Yes.
Obermark?
Aye.
Wessels?
Aye.
Pettit? Aye. Solentrip?
No.
Hydrich?
Nay.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
By your vote, you approve the ordinance. Thank you.
I would like to go ahead and give credit to John and his office for that. That's, to get that many bidders, that has to do with timing of getting the packet out and getting it at a time when you can go ahead and get that many contractors to go ahead and bid. And in the past, I will tell you, some of you will remember, that was not the case. And we would have situations where we put out a certain time of year and we were kind of held to whatever the top 2 or 3 bids that we could go ahead and get. So kudos to his office for getting it out there. Like I said, that's might be some other factors of why you had 10 different bidders, but part of it is due to the fact that they hit the timing just right.
And as I indicated too in the last meeting, we are trying to get another package out here in the next 2 weeks to, again, try to take advantage of that. And it'll be a pretty substantial project funding here as well, so.
How long does it usually take to turn packets
that?
around? How long does it usually take? Like if you,
Oh,
you give,
On a federal project, it's
That's all.
ridiculous, to be honest. But federal projects could 4 to 5 years to.
yeah, no, but I mean, like from when you go out for bid to the bid packet to, how much time do they have to get their bid back in?
Oh, I think there's a minimum of 21 days.
Okay.
So basically 3 weeks. Locally, I think that's set actually by the feds. Locally, I think we could do 2 weeks if we wanted to, if we had to get something quick. But 3 to 4 weeks is what we typically try to do. And we do, if we've had good contractors and things that we've had in the past, we solicit those contractors directly, like just let them know, give them a heads up. There's nothing wrong with doing things like that. We do have to post it, obviously, publicly. MoDOT allows us to utilize their contractor application. So, like, for example, this gets posted on MoDOT's website, which, again, is a requirement by MoDOT on federal projects to drum up interest, to keep the cost as low as they can. We utilize sometimes, we will utilize that application on some of our local projects. Some of them we do not. So I kind of can pick the different sources of where I put projects out to bid on. It is one kind of tool that we have to limit the contracting pool to make sure that we're getting good contractors to work in town. So we actively do that. This, however, again, is an STP project. It doesn't have that type of flexibility.
So when do you think you're going to let them proceed, closer to spring, or?
Excuse me. That's tough because once the contract gets approved, it's signed, it gets sent to MoDOT for review, okay? Then that goes up to the feds, then that comes back, and then you have your pre-construction meeting. So what I've noticed in the past, MoDOT's been busy, I guess, or, COVID's really kind of knocked them back a little bit. So it takes some time. I would hope that we could, it's January here, if we were looking somewhere in March, April would be perfect,
Yeah.
The completion date, 55 days?
Yes, it's quick. There's a reason for that. Again, it's not a very difficult project. A mill fill, get them mobilized to get it done.
Pretty straightforward.
What is that distance, John, that
Oh,
stretch?
geez.
Roughly.
Oh, that might
Is that
be
a mile?
It's probably shy of a mile, but yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor's report.
As shown on the agenda, just a reminder that our next council meeting will be Tuesday, January 19th, due to the Martin Luther King holiday on Monday, so we'll see you on Tuesday the next time. That's all.
City Administrator's report.
No report.
Council comments.
Any comments?
What do we have to do to move along this, what we just talked about tonight with this percentage for local contractors?
Well, what we could do is, I've talked to staff today at the department head meeting because I knew that this would come up. So anyway, essentially, we can provide you with some information to consider at the workshop in February. What I would like to do is, I will caution you, as we've said before, I'm going to speak on behalf of the department heads. I did not see one person that was willing to try to go down this path of trying to do this local. It has nothing to do with our local businesses. We're here to support them as well, do whatever we possibly can, but we also, you run into a situation of, it gets very concerning as to what type of, what are you doing? What type of contract? Are you talking about a zero-turn mower, for example, or are you talking about a contractor? I don't know how many of those, what the addresses were of any of the, other than there was maybe 2 in 63090 out of that 10?
There's one that I'm aware of.
So there was one. So I don't know. So what do you limit it to? Do you limit it to 63090? Do you limit it to just the city limits? Do you do Franklin County? Those are all the questions that you have to go ahead and consider if you want to go ahead and do that. And I know that there's I've run across at least one situation where they had in the city of St. Louis where they tried to do this as well, but it was more to try to get minority-based
Participation.
industries.
Yep.
And they said if they were within a certain percentage that they should receive the contract rather than the other. I think we're very cautious with regards to that. I don't know that if we would have had a contractor that we felt that was was at the top that obviously we've had a history with, where we've had to get our legal counsel involved with, we'd be banging up and down saying absolutely not, and we'd be doing that with the state. But I do caution with regards to how we do that, because what's local. And maybe a general can go ahead and maybe even not be local, but then maybe hires certain subs beneath him. That's not something that we're aware of. We're not awarding a contract to the subs. We're doing it to the.
I think it's worth a discussion, though.
And that's fine. Absolutely. And we understand that. That's why we figured we would go ahead and bring you that back, and then we can also discuss what are some of the concerns, again, some of the concerns of what is it that you want to go ahead and do.
Darren, could you maybe kind of survey out there and see if any other cities, whatever,
That's part of it.
have, based on geography, a contract policy based on the one in St. Louis, of course, that's based on ownership.
Right.
But if any of them have one that's based on geography, it'd be interesting to see how they word it and what they do with some of these federal contracts.
One thing I will point out, especially if you're buying equipment or you're buying vehicles, for example, those are all out on a state bid. Anybody that wants to bid locally can go out just like we can and figure out exactly how much those interceptors would be on the state bid. And if they truly wanted to go ahead and be competitive, they can go ahead and put in a bid that's $1 less. I don't know that they necessarily want that, maybe, and maybe they do that on purpose, for all I know. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to sell it at that cheap of a rate. Maybe it's not worth it for them to sell it that cheap. So there are some things that they could go ahead and take a look at and say, if they're local, for example, and I'll just say Hillerman's, for example, and you got a zero-turn more, and if you want to go see what the state bid is, they can go look that up right before they submit a bid if they choose to submit a bid. They know that that's probably what we're going to look at with regards to that piece of equipment. So those are all the things you got to take into advisement, and then that goes anything from consulting contracts for engineering firms, that goes to
Just to be clear, consulting contract for engineering firms is a little different because that's a qualification-based item.
Qualifications-based,
So
that's
it's,
true.
sorry, just want
And so I want you to
clarification.
realize there's that difference as well, too. I mean, I think some of you have been around long enough that we've had explained with regards to, the statutes are a little bit different when you start basing on qualifications versus proposals or bids, for example. Or what if you sat there and wanted to sell property to somebody with regards to it and you wanted to accept and see what the bids were? Are you going to sell to the highest bidder? Or are you going to sell to the highest local bidder? A lot of things to consider. So I know it sounds like for some pieces of equipment, and you guys may get a lot of phone calls with regards to, keeping it local. I understand that. We understand that. Being in the economic development game, that's all we did was try to help our local industries. But there is, you got to be careful.
And I will say, previous administration, I brought this up like my first or second year, and I didn't get any support to go forward with it. So I don't know where it'll end up this time. I'm not saying I'm for it or against it. I mean, I'm in favor of local business, so I shouldn't say I'm not in favor of it. So I did bring it up, like I say, my second year in this, Nick, and it went nowhere. It turned into a dead issue, so.
And part of that, Mark, may just be that it's a very difficult thing to navigate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well, and we didn't even, and at that time, Darren, we didn't even talk about things that you're even talking about right now, so.
On a second note, I will not be running for my next term. My wife and I will be moving out of the city limits in May, so I will not be re-signing for Ward 1 councilman.
Well, thank you for serving.
Thank you.
So, but we still have you for a few more months.
Yeah, you got me for a few more months.
There you go.
Got to leg it out.
You've been a great asset.
Thank you.
Been good to have you. Anyone else have anything?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Happy New Year.
We have a motion by Sonstrup and seconded by, who was that? Hydrich. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you all. Thank
Are
you
we
for
having
being
an
here.
executive session?
Nope.
Sweet.
I texted, said nothing.
Okay.